had to teach myself. I took my books home and read my books, literally. So for me to graduate from college with a degree in criminal justice is a phenomenal move. I made magic happen.
Wasn't it funny to you when with your first experience in a public school, when you're coming from a Catholic school, you were like, what is going on in here?
Yo, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I mean, when I walked inside, listen, I went to one of the biggest public schools in North Philly. And they just shut down my school, that school. And when I was in there, I was in a magnet program because I was doing algebra in 7th grade. These people was doing algebra in 9th grade. I'm like, what? I know how to do this already. Y'all kind of late, And so I was in the White Williams Scholar. I was on literally 9th grade. So I was past them in math. And I'm like, yo, like for real? And like
what you doing the last 10 years?
And I had 120-minute class, 90-minute class. I'm serious. So they was getting us prepared for longer classes. Where these kids nowadays they not prepared for long periods of class, sitting in one classroom for 90 minutes. So when I was getting prepared to sit in the classroom for 90 minutes to 120 minutes, my attention span, if you understand what I'm saying, so when I got in public school, I could sit in the classroom and pay attention longer than these other kids that was used to paying attention for 45 to half an hour. And if we're gonna be real with attention span for an average kid, it's 20 seconds. So it's a big difference. So I'm glad that my mom actually busts her behind to get me and her 4 other kids into public school, and we all graduated from a public school except one. So 4 out of 5, she did pretty good. So and we went on to college and graduated masters, doctorates, and bachelor's degrees. So my mom, I hope she's proud. But back to the situation at hand is the kids know their role. They know that they have more power than teachers. They tell you, you can't touch me. They tell the teacher that to their face. They tell whoever in the school, you can't touch me. You can't do nothing to me. I'm talking about 3rd grade, 4th graders, and 6th graders.
I'm telling you, Armand, for leave me at Clementon Park.
So
you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember what you're talking
about. I'm telling you left me there.
So they know your job description better than you know your job description. They'll tell you exactly what it is. So they know they could come into the teacher and tell a teacher, give my phone back, take my phone, and walk out of school.
Not a child's place.
Yep, and my kid, I have friends, and I talk to my friends. One of my friends said, you got to think from this incident that happened in the school. She said, everybody jumping on this guy, and they taking up for this girl, but y'all got to think about what's really happening. This girl is actually disrespecting the teacher to the point where she has to call security or police to come get this kid out of her face. And I'm not with the guy doing that. That's too much. I would be up there if he did that to my daughter. I'll be up there, and he don't got to worry about a job.
Hey, but how about this? If he was black, it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. Yeah. But he's still black, white. It don't matter. Yeah. He still got to worry about he don't got to worry about a job. He got to worry about where he gonna live at. Throwing my daughter across the floor. But that's another story. Yeah. But you jumping up in an adult's face and think that you have the right and audacity to tell an adult I ain't doing nothing, and you just straight disrespect the adult. That lets you know that y'all have too much power. And they need to take away kids' power because kids have too much power. You can't chastise them. You can't grip them up. And I ain't say beat them behind. I'm talking about a teacher gripping up a kid for jumping in the teacher's face.
Right. And that's the whole United States.
That's the whole United States. Yeah. What happened to it takes a village to raise a child?
Yeah.
What happened to that concept? Because that concept actually worked. I was scared to talk back to my teacher, not because my mom was going to come up there and smack me in front of the teacher and the principal and mostly the class, and I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah, my mom did. Miss Miller class, 5th grade, she came from work, and me right up in the class, and he told the nun, and if you have problems with him, you yoke him up, and you can get yoked up by her, and then when you get home, I'm gonna do it, and then when your father get off of work, he gonna damage your soul.
Yes. And I experienced a principal taking a 12-inch ruler and spanking me on my behind after he got off the phone with my mom. And it wasn't because I was talking back or I was jumping up in his face. It's because I didn't listen when he told me to do something. And it was that little small little deal got me into the principal's office and got my behind paddled in the second grade. I remember it. So this you took a lot of control from the adults and gave it to the kids, and that's the problem.
And one of the last issues I think that I left out was I blame the Department of Education, the Philadelphia. I blame the higher ups, because being a teacher, you know, it's a disconnect between you and the higher ups, and the bureaucrats in education, because education became such a money cash cow. It's all about money and funding, but you know, when a kid gets on, I just found this out when I was teaching. One of the janitors put me on. That was a janitor for more than 20 years. He was like, well, you know, when a kid gets, you know, an IEP or
they get more money,
he gets on Ritalin, that kid he's more valuable to the school because he's worth more. Right. Like the funding for him from the state will be like around $17,000 per year.
Right.
If he is like consider, you know, on medicine or special ed, he's worth $17,000. While a general ed kid that don't take no medicine, he's not considered special or smart or dumb. He's like $9,000.
And he getting a check.
Yeah, so it's like $9,000 for a general ed. So if you place kids in special ed, the school may get around 16, 17. I was like, whoa. So this is about money and funding. I guess the services they get, whatever. But the kids will buy into, you know, their IEP, which is the individual education plan. I can't do that because my IEP said I only get 5 words. I mean, you can't do 10. I can't do 5. They won't do it. I mean, they bought in to this. But think about how you're setting them up for life. This school isn't anything. But when you get out in the world and nobody cares about your IEP, nobody cares about this, you didn't know daddy. Nobody cares about anything. It's like, what can you bring of value to this company or to this apartment building or this neighborhood, or what can you bring of value to this team,
to this car loan?
Hey,
to the universe.
What
do you bring of value to the oxygen?
I was in the barbershop like last week, and one of the he's a cool young boy, man. I forget, he went to Bodine, and he going to Temple. He got full ride for 2 years. So the other 2, he got to figure it out. But I was like, yo, man, I was like, he going off to college. I mean, he's not going far, but he's going to be on campus. So I'm not going to see him around the barbershop like that no more. And he was like, I was like, yo, man, all right, big time. You know what I mean? I was like, you still going to have time for me? You know, once you become Temple alumni? He's like, man, man, I'm just trying not to be a loser, man. I said, brother, you already a winner. You know, you're like, tell him that. You already won, my dude. Like, listen, these kids, you can tell from 0 to 5 who's going to be winning in life and who's going to be losing. And then in between, it's going to be some ones that they can make it out, but they're going to make it a lot harder for themselves. Yeah. So I said, bro, winners are born, losers are born. You good. You good.
You got to encourage the ones that actually putting themselves in place to be a winner in the future, because a lot of them, they don't understand what's at stake. And on Ben Franklin, my alumni school, Ben Franklin High School, it says on the top. It came out after I graduated in 2002, but it says on the top. It says the educator will rule. Yes. And if you and I said, you know what, you're right, because they dumbing a lot of stuff down. Lupe Fiasco, they dumbing a lot of stuff down. And these kids are thinking what they getting taught is the legit stuff. No, you're getting dumbed down. You can't. They don't even teach you how to do your signature in cursive anymore. So how can you sign for a check?
I just found that out a little bit ago. All right, man. So we'll move on, man.
Yeah,
we need a part 2 on this topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do it again. I still got more solutions.
A whole lot more solutions.
You got more in the clip. All right, man. So we'll roll on to so Ghostface Killer. He was recently in the news. I would say late summertime with his little feud with Action Bronson. So Action kind of like was talking a little crazy. Ghostface quieted that, but for those that listened to our 98 episode and we got really great feedback, appreciate y'all for checking that out. We're gonna start a segment, and which it'll be called The Exam, and we'll personalize an artist and we'll get a chance to examine that artist. And the first artist we're gonna do is Ghostface from Wu-Tang. So I'll pose the first. Yes, sir. Play that. I'll pose the first question to the exam. Did the artist meet his full potential? And Armand, you can start it off. So that'll be our first roundtable.
I think so, because I mean, full potential is hard to say because he was in a group. So I don't know if he was out by himself, would he be more critically acclaimed or not? But I think he held his own heavy in his group, and on his own when he tried to do things from the solo standpoint. Is a Supreme Clientele. All his stuff was really good albums. He's known around the world. He's the man. He's one of the guys in Wu-Tang that spit those lyrics, and he'd take you in. He's known for his storytelling. He's one of the best storytelling rappers out there. Ghost is my man. I thought he was he's on my top 5. He's 6. He's an honorable mention in my top 5. And people you Ghost or none of that. You gotta listen to Ghostface music, man. He talks heavy. So I think he reached his. I think he reached his pinnacle. I think he did well in his career.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think he reached it. I think he surpassed it actually.
Okay.
Yeah. With his storytelling, he's an excellent storyteller. And if you wasn't inclined to his verbal vocabulary, then he was talking over your head. And I mean, I had.
If you wasn't an avid reader.
Yeah.
And you was just playing around getting kicked out of class.
Yeah.
You ain't like those papers.
Seriously, you wouldn't like him. You wouldn't like him at all. So if you was one of them dumbing down kids that didn't understand lyrical content, then you was lost. So Ghostface Killer, man, he that guy actually set the bar. He set the bar. I mean, with Ice Cream. I'm sorry, his verse killed it. But yo, listen, I'm not even gonna start it. Butter pecan. Listen,
it's cool. Your name is Erica, right? True, lazy, Abu, small B, 6 shoes. Come on, man. Go ahead. Yes. He definitely met his full potential. So I was thinking about this question a week ago when we posed it. So if y'all remember, in the beginning of Wu-Tang '93, he had the white sheet over his face, probably for the first couple of singles.
Yes,
he didn't know what he looked like. We didn't know what he looked like until later. And he began as a mid-tier member. He wasn't, Method Man, Jizza, RZA, and Old Dirty Bastard were the guys.
Yeah, they was the guys.
They was the guys. They got their albums out first. They were the priority. And Ghostface really had to work his way.
Remember, he didn't show his face. Remember, in the beginning, I don't think he showed his face for a while. It was just his mask. He always had that belt mask on.
Yeah, mask.
Right. He had a white sheet on. Like I was saying, we didn't know what he looked like until probably about Iron Man. Raekwon album. My bad.
Y'all gotta understand, he was in character.
Right.
This guy is a character. What is it? Johnny Starks. He's a character. Tony Starks. He's a character. So him not showing his face was that character
before MF Doom.
Yeah, way before MF Doom. Yeah. So this guy was on some his last album. He's still in character mode.
So I would say he definitely met his full potential. Just from where he started at to where he is now, and now he's one of the most recognized Wu-Tang members.
Worth $17 million.
Him, Raekwon, Meth. I mean, he's right up there. He's RZA. ODB, RIP. But I would say just off that piece alone, he worked his way up that hierarchy, and I would say yes, absolutely.
I would say yes too.
All right, so number 2, what's your favorite / best album from Ghostface's? You know what? I forgot to do this. I'll run down his discography real quick. So, 93, it was Enter the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang. 96 was Iron Man, his solo album. 97 was Wu-Tang Forever, the second album, the second group album. 2000 was Supreme Clientele. 2001 was Bulletproof Wallets. 2004 was Pretty Tony. 2006 was Fish Scale, and then he dropped more Fish the same year.